but he'll tear you up anything inside of 40 yards. It's just whether or not Drew decides to come back. That's the issue, and he's thinking about it.
That's the $1 million question, Q.
Yeah, that's the
But
thing.
however it goes, whether he comes to say still don't need to say, okay, we dodged it. Let's go another. No, you need to go and draft a quarterback and get it over. Stop, like you said, stop kicking the can down the road and putting it off to when you really have to make the choice by Drew getting hurt or retiring. Don't be proactive instead of reactive. Thank you.
You're right. It's always good to be proactive than reactive, because, and the Saints have kind of been reactive. They kind of letting Drew kind of decide it, and that's no problem. But the team has to have a plan here. They totally gave up. They gave the leverage to Drew. I mean, he can name his price. He's not going to take. And this is the thing. If Drew Brees comes back, he's not going to come back at what he was making last year. It's going to come back more. It's going to back at least $3 to $5 million more a season. And his Drew Brees' market value currently is set at $36.5 million. $36.5 million. Did you hear what I just said, family? For all these people out here.
They promised no statue on Claiborne Street and nothing that he wants in money. He don't want all that other stuff. You know.
I'm just.
Mickey Loomis can't make no promises. He gonna want it in cheddar, paper, money.
Listen, Drew Brees, his market value currently is $36.5 million a year.
That's mind-boggling. A
year. Look it up. Look it up.
Patrick
Sport
Mahomes
Track.
ain't making that. He in the Super Bowl.
Matter of fact, that's the top according to their rankings. That is the top in the NFL. Behind him is then Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Jared Goff, and Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay.
He's 36. He's 36.5. Aaron Rodgers is 33.5.
Really? Oh yeah, Q. They gonna have to make change in the next 2-3 years. Those boys might have to go. Those teams ain't gonna be able to afford them contracts, Q.
And guess what the family members gonna say? Well, that's okay. Drew will take a pay cut for us. Okay.
Oh no.
Okay.
They did all this time. Yeah, they better wise up, Q. You keep trying to tell them, but like I said, they want to be ostrich, stick their head to the ground.
Brother Paul, I'm just giving them so they can say, Q, you ain't show us all the math. I'm giving you the math. I'm giving you the stats. I'm giving you the facts. I'm giving you the interviews. I'm giving you everything they saying. I'm not sitting up here. They ain't all these other people talking out there. You know what? I'm telling you and showing you and telling you exactly what it is and saying research it for yourself. I'm telling you, this man's estimated market value is $36.5 million. And the Saints have given him the complete leverage by telling him that we want him to come back for a transition year because the quarterback they have right now, they see as the future, is not ready this year. So that gives your agent all kind of leverage to say, well, guess what? They need us, so if you want us, you're going to pay for us.
And they're going to play hardball, Q. I don't know why Mickey Loomis think they're going to be sitting there popping popcorn and watching the Flintstones. It ain't going to be that kind of interview. You know?
And I say that to say this. Ever since that point forward, they gave him a blank check. Every year, and that's how he made over $230 million from the Black and Gold organization, meaning the Black and Gold fan base, because that's where the money came from. It didn't come from them. It came from your ass. He made $230+ million off of the Saints team. That's what Drew Brees made as a Saint quarterback. It got to be up there. But they've never. The reason why I'm making all these historical statements is to just show you guys that the Saints show the trend of behavior, that the Saints have never told Drew Brees no. Even when he was supposed to take pay cuts so they could play for other teammates, he didn't do it. One of the crucial things he did one time was when Darren Sproles was supposed to take a pay cut and his wife got involved. Remember, that was the first time it's happened. When his wife spoke up and said he ain't taking no pay cuts because he doing everything. And the man was running the ball. He was kick returning, punt returning, catching the ball out the backfield. And instead of going to Drew, they went to him, and that led to them trading Sproles. That's how he got up out of here, because he wouldn't take a pay cut because he was doing everything. But they never touched Drew, and Drew did not take a pay cut. He will let you shift his money, take a portion of his money, and pay you now or later. That's not a pay cut. That is not taking a cut and pay. Taking a cut and pay meaning taking less of the money that you think you're supposed to give. You saying you worth 36.5 a year, you take 26.5 a year. That's a pay cut. Not you getting all 36.5 of your money, but I break it up into increments and you still get it. That's not no pay cut. You still getting your money, you just getting it in certain sections. Pay cut is what Tom Brady does when he's worth $30 million, but he takes 18. So they can have a team around him. He never takes pay cuts. I say this to say this. The trend of behavior is he never takes pay cuts, and the Saints never ask him to take pay cuts because they know that he's not taking for that. Right. I told him same thing about Kamara. 9 I said $9 to $15 million. Or they laughed at me in the chat. LOL. I said, bro, do you not understand his market value and what he's looking at? Then you have to understand it's not totally on him. He's in the same atmosphere as McCaffrey. Whatever McCaffrey gets, and he's gonna get an astronomical sum, maybe anywhere between 12 to 15 million. Kamara is gonna be there or more. And I'm telling you, whatever Kamara
gets, that's just a contract. You gotta look at the signing bonus too.
That's right. That's what I'm trying to tell you. McCaffrey, if McCaffrey get his deal signed first, that's gonna be what Kamara is gonna either want that or he's gonna want more than that. And are the Saints gonna pay their running back? They already paying their wide receiver $100 million. If they're gonna pay Kamara $10 million a season and play Drew Brees 30, he makes 30. What I said, 36.5. Now he gonna want more than that. He gonna want more than that.
Well, the Saints have never did it. They didn't do it with Dalton Egypt. They didn't do it with Ruben Mays, and they didn't do it with Pierre Thomas, and he helped them win the Super Bowl.
There you go.
So what else Kamara think he gonna do?
I mean, I'm putting it out there, family. I'm throwing it out there because nobody talking about it like this, you know. And I'm just breaking it down and making people think about it. They're like, oh, we'll get them under contract. For what would be the contract? And you're right, on top of the $21 million they owe him. They still owe him that. That's what that dead cap money is. That's money still owed to this man. So it's 36.5 plus that, and we saying that currently that can go up. Remember, it's their leverage. The Saints have given all of the leverage to Drew Brees and his agent, who's a pretty vicious agent in his own right. You don't have any leverage. Who's your quarterback going to be? Taysom Hill, who you already said is not ready because he needs a transition year. And what you give him 25% out of 70%. So we're going to run a college style offense. What does that really look like? I mean, think about what they're telling us, man. Think about it. We're the Great Saints think tank. We don't just take stuff and, oh, they're going to use them in them. It's going to be Taysom going to get it sometime, and then Drew Brees going to get it the other time. Huh? So you're going to run like what LSU used to do when they had multiple quarterbacks running out there on the field like it's a college system? Is that what we're going to do? Really? Don't sound like much of a plan to me. I'm just keeping it real. You tell me, does that sound like a plan to you? Does it? Doesn't sound like much of a plan to me. We're gonna have 75% Drew, 25% Taysom. What if Taysom say, I don't want to do that? I want to play, and I think I can play right now. So they banking on Taysom being under control. But he telling you in interviews that I'm a quarterback. And I want to play quarterback, and he feel like he can play right goddamn now. Listen to what I'm telling you. And Teddy Bridgewater, who could just bridge all this nonsense, because you could put Teddy Bridgewater in there tomorrow and he ready to play the quarterback position. He don't need no transition. I'm just saying, man. It has not supposed to have been like this. It's supposed to Drew Brees goes a deep playoff run, Super Bowl run, retires. Teddy Bridgewater takes over the team. Taysom Hill is his backup. You hear me? That's how it was supposed to be, right? That was the initial thought process. Now it's all this chaos. Now you got to wait to see what Drew does. What if Drew retires? You are screwed. Then you go back to Teddy Bridgewater and pay him his $20 million a year because that's his value. While paying Taysom Hill $4 or $5 million a year, do you pay him that? I'm asking questions nobody asking. I'm just saying, family. Ernest Adams Jr., big ups to you, Ernest. I see you. Ernest says Taysom allows Sean Pete to have a multi-skilled players in one. Taysom is the coupon player. Thank you, Ernest. He says, as I said during the last chat, the disrespect of Teddy is real. Don't worry about it. He don't have to worry about it no more, because you could literally put Teddy Bridgewater in. If they were playing the game tomorrow, Teddy Bridgewater be ready to go. You know, The Saints telling you Taysom Hill's not ready to go. Not me. And I've been saying that for a long time, family. I've been saying that for a long time about this. Is the fact that Taysom Hill, the Saints don't see Taysom Hill as a quarterback. Didn't I not say that? Then it comes out, well, he's not ready until next year. And I'm thinking in my head, even if you do run that scenario, 75-25, 75 meaning Drew, 25 meaning Taysom, that still doesn't qualify, or better yet, it doesn't mean that he'll still get the seasoning that he needs to be as good as he's supposed to. The only way he'll get that is if he actually participates in 100% of the game. Like, put him in there and let him learn. Isn't that how we always did it? You know, he sat behind Drew, what, since 2017 when he came over here? And we're in 2020. He been sitting behind Drew. What's one more year? I mean, seriously, think about that. I'm asking the question. What's one more year, man? Seriously. What's one more freaking year? Well, one more freaking year means that you got to come up over $36.5 million because Drew Brees gonna get you close to 40. Just for 1 year. 75%. 75%. One more year. Taysom's just not right. He just doesn't have a right seasoning yet. He needs just a little more seasoning. What's one more year? Playing in 25% of each game. Come on, man. We know better than this. Come on. Let's put our thought process, our thought caps on. We know in order for a quarterback to become really good, he has to play all the time. He gonna need 100% of those snaps. So if you want to make a transition, put Taysom Hill as the quarterback if he's Steve Young. That just goes to show you that Sean Payton be blowing smoke up people's tails. Why would you need Steve Young, Sean Payton? I'm asking you the question. Sean Payton, why would you need Steve Young, who you called him Steve Young? Nobody put that word in your mouth. Why would you need to make Steve Young have some more seasoning? He's Steve Young. Steve Young doesn't need seasoning, Sean Payton. Put him in a game. You need a little bit more Tony Saturin. A little bit more slap your mama. It's just scary. It's just asinine. People say, well, you heard what he said. That make total sense to me. Oh, does it? Really? Did you have a little something to drink, partner? A little bit too much NyQuil. I just don't. They gave up all their leverage. How you can't ask him to take a pay cut if you have no leverage? You don't even have a quarterback to leverage him against. Where my business folk at? Where's my business folk out there? My self-starters, my entrepreneurs. Where my business people at? Please chime in the chat. Please tell the family what happens when you have zero leverage. What are you leveraging against Drew to get a pay cut? You expecting him to do it out of the kindness of his heart? He's not gonna take money out of his kid's mouth to make your ass happy. Come on. What world are we living in? You got some people living on Earth and other people living on Pluto somewhere. Listen, man, the reality of the situation is you cannot expect Drew to take a pay cut. You don't have any leverage, New Orleans Saints. There is no quarterback that you have on your roster that you can leverage Drew Brees against. You can't leverage him against Taysom Hill because you let people know that Taysom Hill is not ready to play by saying that you want Drew to play one more year as a transition year. That's telling me that he is not ready to go next year at all. That's what you think of him. Despite the interview, he says he is ready to go. So we got to mix up in ideologies here. You see, when you start putting the numbers together, all that other stuff don't mean a lick of beans, does it? When you start putting the numbers together and looking at the intricacies of what you're staring at the sports, don't it take on another veneer? Don't it? You see what I'm saying? Now notice how most people that were saying what they're saying not saying it no more because I'm throwing the numbers at them, making them think. See, it's not necessarily about potential anymore. When you look at it's about what you're willing to pay for that player.